Hi, Huskies and friends. Yes, it's me again, and I'm back. Please tell me you get the reference. It's episode 2, and we're in our second week of the semester. How are we feeling? Are we on top of the assignments, or are the assignments on top of us? I'm hoping that we're not too overwhelmed or stressed. But before we go any further, let's take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. That felt good, didn't it? Sometimes a mindful pause can help you to gather yourself and your thoughts and manage the overwhelming feelings that come with being a student and an active participant in life. This is why this week we're going to talk about managing stress. We have a very special guest from our student support and mentorship unit. So let's put our virtual hands together and welcome Helen Mok. Yay!
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's so great to be here. I'm Helen Mok, and this fall I'll be entering my third and final year in the dental hygiene program here at George Brown. I'm a mature first generation student to immigrant parents, and I've been with Peer Mentor Plus for over a year now.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Helen. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you here on the podcast and just for you to share your knowledge with us and with the rest of the campus, just about how we're going to learn to manage stress for this upcoming semester. And not just for school, but like for life in general, because it gets real sometimes. Okay, so everyone knows that school is like fun and exciting, and it comes with a certain amount of stress. And it's really hard sometimes to balance assignments, social life, family life, and all the other things that comes with being a part of life and just, participating. And sometimes we find ourselves feeling pain and even discomfort that we don't even realize that it's as a result of stress. So, could you tell us some of the earliest signs or physical manifestations of stress that we might feel?
Of course. So, some early signs of stress can include sweating, increased heart rate, shallow breathing, indigestion, clenched jaw, muscle tension, and maybe getting sick frequently. Of course, I clench my jaw a lot, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers right now, our listeners, are clenching their jaws, so unclench. Um, I also might get night terrors or sleep paralysis very often.
Oh wow. Well, I didn't know that. I think I probably clench my jaw a bit. I don't know if you're familiar, but sometimes you're on Instagram and you see these videos when they're just like telling you to stop, pause, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders. And that's how I realized I do it a lot because almost every time they say that, I'm like, oh no, my jaws are clenched. So I didn't even realize that. But thanks for that because I think a lot of persons probably don't recognize that, while they're feeling stress sometimes, or even when they're not thinking they're feeling stressed, there are little signs that their body displays that they're probably missing that indicates
Mhm.
we're feeling a little tense. So, what are some of the key contributors to stress that we may not notice, especially as students?
Some sources of stress can be workload, whether it's from part-time, full-time, from school, finances. Stress can come from anywhere, really. And a lot of our students might be navigating their early adulthood for the first time, and there's some conflict or lack of connection with friends and family. Even just the lack of access to nutritious food can do that.
Wow, thanks for that. Like especially for me, I moved here last year, like moved to Canada last year. And so going to school now has been a different experience for me from what I had prior because I'm missing friends and I have my family that supports me for sure. And I've been able to make friends, but it was a different experience back home with my other friends because those were friends I was probably coming from high school with into university. So navigating a new space without company. And I know we have a big international student population as well. So navigating a new space without company that you're familiar with can definitely add stress because you don't have someone who relates to you a particular way, and then it's harder for you to maybe go out and make friends in a new space. You're learning so much about your new environment to also like build a social life on top of that can be challenging. So yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. And then my other question for you would be what kind of activities or services are provided at GBC that can help student and staff to alleviate or manage stress? So I know the mentorship and student support unit is there, but what activities do you guys put on that could help students when they're feeling overwhelmed or before they even get to the point of feeling overwhelmed, like what facilities are in place to help with stuff like that?
So at Peer Mentor Plus, our program includes ASD and Friends. It's a support group for students who feel a connection to the lived experience of autism. We also have the East Asian Student Support Group. We have one-on-one mentoring. We also physically have a space in the St. James campus basement beside the Tim Hortons. It's called the Calm Zone. It's low sensory, white noise. The lights are dim. Just a place to relax and get away from all the noise. We have a lot of students who come in and just relax in between classes, or if they want to come in and chat with a peer mentor, they can. We also have American Sign Language workshop and drop-ins. We also have community club and community events.
Do you have any community events happening this week, maybe like in our first couple weeks of school that people can look forward to attending?
So Peer Mentor Plus is running a community club at St. James campus starting in October, where you can learn some of our stress management strategies. Yes.
We love that. The people will be stressed when the assignments start to hit, so we will be there.
And we do have an Instagram page, which will be updated with the hours and days of when workshops and events are available. We also have, aside from the Calm Zone, we are also available in the International Student Hub. So from Monday to Friday, we're in the Calm Zone from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., we are in the International Student Support Hub.
Okay, thank you. Could you tell us the name of the Instagram so that our listeners can go and follow?
Peer Mentor Plus, PLUS, not the plus sign. Yep.
Okay, thank you. And that's just on Instagram? Do you have Facebook, TikTok, or is it just Instagram?
I believe it's just Instagram.
Okay, thank you. Well, you guys know where to go to check it out. I will definitely come and check it out. When I started my program in May, I did take notice of the Commerce Room. Com Zone. Yes, I did take notice of it, but I didn't actually get the chance to visit. So I'm definitely going to visit when I am on campus next.
Yes.
And would I see you there?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I hope I see you there.
We have a lot of great peer mentors. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, when I come, I'll tell them Helen sent me. Okay, so what are some practical steps that we can take in our day-to-day lives to manage stress or try to alleviate it as best as possible?
Planning out your weeks and months so you have some flexibility, so you're not overwhelmed, so you know what's coming up with any existing or new commitments. Don't forget to schedule breaks. I know some of our students might be really hard on themselves and they want to jam-pack that schedule, but make sure to take breaks, have some fun activities. Definitely try to include some exercise, any physical activity, even walking. And keep in mind breathing. So at Peer Mentor Plus, we really, really love the 4-7-8 breathing exercise, which is breathing in for a count of 4, holding it for 7, and then breathing out of your mouth for 8.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
I'll definitely try that. See, I was on to something at the beginning.
Mm.
When I met, that's what we're gonna do, guys. 4-7-8. Got it.
Would you like to try?
Oh yeah, sure, of course, of course. Let's go ahead.
Yes. So
So,
breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You did amazing. I really
that was really good.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I personally walk to school as much as I can, and that really clears my head in the morning, and it really de-stresses me at the end of school. It's great, yeah.
Especially when you're getting some fresh air. I know when we come back in September, we'll be going into the fall, and then comes the winter, which might make the walking just a little bit more, less fun than we like it to be. But while we can, enjoy the outside, the outdoors, get some fresh air, get a walk in, guys. Thanks for those tips, Helen. And then my last question for you is, social media is a great tool and a fun pastime, but I think we can agree that it also poses a challenge of sometimes making people feel like they're not good enough or they don't have all the things they're supposed to have by this age. And I think that adds another level of stress that we put on ourselves and sometimes internalize without even noticing. How would you advise persons to address that stress, that internal stress that comes with just thinking, oh, am I good enough? Like, I should be doing better. I should have more. How do we manage that?
So this is a very interesting question because another lifetime ago, I used to make content.
Okay, come on, content creator
Yeah,
Helen. I
so
see you,
I
girl.
did that for 10 years, and I can tell you that a lot of the times what you see is the highlight of that person's life. And a lot of times they may or may not show the struggles, the behind the scenes or what they feel insecure about.
Yeah.
And who is putting this arbitrary number on what we should be achieving by a certain age, or who has done what or didn't do what by a certain age? We're all on our own unique path. You and I are here at this very moment together doing this podcast because we've done different things in our lives for us to meet in this very moment. And all our paths are unique. And that's the beauty of life.
That's so true. I was thinking about that earlier this week. Actually, I was on social media and I saw someone who I really look up to, like as a role model. She has a podcast and she was interviewing someone. And I thought to myself, wow, how do you get to the point of having a podcast like that? And then I stopped myself in my tracks and I'm like, but you host a podcast. And it's just always that issue of like comparing yourself to other people. And I think I like something that's really important for us to practice is just gratitude and recognizing, like as you said, everybody's on their own journey. It's not linear as people think it is, and your life doesn't have to be one thing. Like you said, you've lived many lives before, you've done many things before that has led us to being here in this moment, and for our listeners to even be listening to us at this moment. So I think it really is important for us to stop, breathe, do our 4-8,
4-7-8.
4-7-8, do our 4-7-8 breathing sometimes and just reflect on what life is, where we are, and figuring out where it is that you want to go, but recognizing that it's one step at a time to get there. So yeah, thanks for that, Helen. And is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners today? Just, something to uplift, something that you probably practice all the time to encourage them along this journey of being students and being an active participant in life.
Mm-hmm. I love how you say that, active participant in life. So as a mature student, I recognize that school is just one of the steps to get us there. And it's good to take a step back and remember that there's a little more to life than school. Although it's great, it's going to get us to places. It's good to just ground yourself and make sure to remind yourself that it's okay.
It's a part of the journey
Yes.
and it'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope our listeners learned something. If you see Helen on campus, please tell her hi. And guys, don't take it too seriously. It's serious, but don't take it too seriously. And be kind to yourselves. And manage and take life one day at a time, one step at a time. Until next time, from myself and Claire, our producer, walk good. Bye.
Bye.